ברוכים הבאים לפודקאסט של שפות-שלי, אני האריאל, אני נמצא כאן עם ג'וש כרגיל.
מה נשמע?
How are you?
I'm great, how are you?
I'm doing well. I think it would be a surprise of time if I pitched up without you, so...
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
we're a team. Alright, so היום יש לנו נושא מעניין, אנחנו נדבר על present simple, זמן הפשוט הווה,
כן.
אבל בקונטקסט של אוכל, סוגי מאכלים, types of foods, and we're going to talk about taste, גם טעמים, שזה גם נושא מעניין.
Did you eat anything today?
Yes, I had a sandwich.
Very cool. What was in your sandwich?
Tuna.
Tuna sandwich, classic. Was it a tunizai?
No, it was just a pure tuna.
Just tuna.
Tuna mayonnaise,
Okay.
lettuce,
That's
cucumber.
Okay, that's a classic sandwich. We say it's a very white bread sandwich. Was it on white bread?
No, it wasn't brown bread.
Brown bread. Okay, healthy. So, Ariel, have you ever been so passionate about something you felt like you were a nut?
Yeah.
Like a button.
Like a button. Nuts. Have
you ever
nuts.
been nuts about something?
I have.
What does it mean to be nuts about something?
To be nuts about something זה להרגיש שאתה מאוד, יש לך תשוקה כלפי משהו מאוד 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 ברמה מטורפת, להיות מטורף על משהו.
Yeah.
And it's basically what we do now, לתת למאזינים שלנו להבין, is we're doing idioms that are related to foods, שזה בעצם סוגים של ניבים שקשורים לאוכל, זה ניב בעצם, like an idiom, what we say. Be nuts about something. זה אומר בעצם להיות בוטן לגבי משהו, אגוז לגבי
להיות אגוז או בוטן או משהו, כן. What type of sandwich are you nuts about?
I'm nuts about a club sandwich.
What is in a club sandwich?
Club sandwich has got egg, and it's got ham, preferably.
Oh, okay.
It's got cheese.
Not kosher.
Not kosher, it's got cheese. But you can substitute the ham maybe for beef.
Okay.
Or chickens, but it's actually got chicken in it. It's got chicken also.
Okay, and then the cheese for...
And it's got like this toasted bread on top. It's pretty good.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
So you're nuts about that.
I am.
You can't resist it.
If I saw a club sandwich now, I would be...
We would have to take a break.
Would have to like just scratch the podcast completely.
Forget about it. Maybe we could do an ASMR about eating club sandwiches.
Okay, so be nuts about something.
Yeah, to be crazy. להיות ממש ממש obsessive על משהו. אפילו.
Oh.
All right, so you know, this morning I had a lot to do. I looked at my schedule and I realized I only had about 1 hour before I had to get to work. And I saw that I had about 5 tasks, 5 משימות,
Okay.
right? And I was really, really worried. I was very stressed about it. But after I finished, the first couple things, which were actually pretty easy, like brushing my teeth and putting on clothing, I realized that the rest of the day would be a piece of cake.
שהשאר היום יהיה חתיכת עוגה.
חתיכת עוגה. מה זה אומר? איזה יום חתיכת עוגה?
As for something to be a piece of cake means for it to be easy, to be simple.
קל רצח.
כן, קל מאוד, כיף, a piece of cake. It's a piece of cake. Alright, אז בוא נדלג על כמה מהם, יש לנו פה מלא בעצם, אז אנחנו נקפוץ כמה במהירות, ונגיד קצת מה הם אומרים כל אחד. בוא נגיד, מה קורה אם מישהו מספר לך סוד, ג'וש? ואתה בא ומספר לי לדוגמה את הסוד.
מלשינים, סניצ'ז.
מלשינים. איך אנחנו אומרים אם אתה מלשין ואתה בעצם מספר לי סוד? מה עשית בפועל?
Well, it's when they spill the beans.
Spill the beans.
שופכים
את השווית.
את השווית.
Doesn't sound good in Hebrew at all.
אל תשפוך את השווית, אחי.
אוקיי, זה לא נשמע טוב בעברית בכלל, אבל כן, זה לשפוך את השווית, spill the beans.
להגיד את הסוד.
לספר את הסוד הגדול.
רוב הזמן זה מול, it's in front of the person you're not supposed to tell.
Correct.
Or in front of the person you're keeping the secret with.
Of course. Okay.
So I know in Israel we have, יש לנו את הכשרות שלנו, וזה ממש ממש חשוב. אני שמתי לב שאפילו עם כמה מהתלמידים, יש סטיגמה עם המילה בייגל. וזה 100% בסדר. אני גדלתי במשפחה כשר, ואני התאמתי אותו, אבל אני לא כזה אוהב אותו ממש. אבל באנגלית יש לנו ביטוי שממש ממש משתמש בה, וזה גם קצת קשור לישראל, כי מצב הכלכלה כאן זה קצת קשה, אז כולם חושבים על כסף, לצערי, נכון? אז צריכים להרוויח כסף. אז באנגלית, if you can bring home the bacon, נגיד
להביא הביתה את הבייקון.
את הבייקון.
זה אומר להביא את הכסף הביתה.
מרוויח כסף.
Earn the money.
Earn the money, exactly. So yeah, I'm trying to bring home the bacon for my cats and I.
What would a religious listener say to that? If you say, Josh, your idiom of bring home the bacon is not my cup of tea.
It's not your cup of tea. Well, I would say that we have green tea as well. I don't know. I would say that's okay because it's just an idiom and you don't.
ומה זה אומר not my cup of tea? זה לא הכוס תה שלי.
זה לא הכוס תה שלי, זה אומר אני לא אוהב את זה. אני לא...
זה לא מתאים לי.
כן, לא מתאים לי.
לא שאני רגיל אליו.
Exactly. Now, the last one I'd like to do, which is very, very, very relevant to, living here, במזרח התיכון. Because, there's a little bit of chutzpah that comes with things. I love it here. I really do. But sometimes you hear some very outlandish stories. מה זה outlandish, נגיד?
outlandish זה משהו מטורף, סיפור משוגע.
כן, משוגע, או אפילו זה נשמע כמו משהו מסרט, נכון? אז מה שלמדתי, שאני צריך לקחת את הכל עם הטיפה של
טיפת מלח.
טיפת מלח כזה. אז in English we say to take something with a pinch of salt. מה זה אומר? זה פשוט לקח את דברים בקונטקסט. למי אומר את זה?
לקחת את הדברים בקלות.
כן, שזה לא להאמין את זה 100% ולהבין שאם זה...
לא להיעלב, not to be let's say like upset or disappointed or...
Well, יכול להיות גם, נכון? If someone gives you a promise, they say, I'll give you some money or I'll do, they're going to help you out, and they don't have a good reputation, זה ידוע שהם לא כך עוזרים, נכון? You got to take it with a pinch of salt, הם לא באמת יעזור לך. אז זה אומר בעצם, שזה to deal with when someone's, איך אומרים, עובדים עליך, קצת.
Take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, take it with a pinch of salt.
Don't believe what anybody says.
וגם תיקח את circumstances, את הסביב.
So wait, so this basically, בפועל זה ניב עם שתי משמעויות.
כן.
אחד זה בעצם להגיד, don't take it with a pinch of salt, זה אל תאמין, אם אתה שומע, אל תאמין כל כך למה שאתה שומע או לבן אדם.
כן.
תיקח את הסיפור בכלליות, עם טיפת מלח, זאת אומרת, אל תאמין ב100%, כי could be not true. והשני, שבעצם אומר, take it with a pinch of salt, זה לקחת את זה בקונטקסט, בפרופורציה. לא ברצינות מדי. אוקיי, יפה. אז זה בעצם סוגים של idioms, ניבים של אוכל. עכשיו בוא ניכנס לטעמים מגניבים.
אז tastes. So, Ariel, tastes, טעם is something we can divide up into about 5 categories. Science is always developing, so maybe someday there'll be more. But I would say that as of lately, I have been eating a lot of salty and sour foods. אז אני אוהב דברים ממש ממש מלוחים וחמוצים. What about you?
You know, just on that topic, בנושא הזה, my favorite bag of Lays, chips Lays, הטעם שאני הכי הרבה אוהב, שרק הביאו את זה לארץ לא מזמן, זה salt and vinegar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it too, it's amazing.
זה פופולרי בארצות הברית?
Well, with my mom is South African. So
okay, so she must have been crazy about the salt and vinegar.
Yeah, I love salt.
Do you know that they actually make fries with salt and vinegar on top?
Yeah, that's what I do too when I'm at home.
Really?
That's how I make them.
But is it common in America or not really?
Not really, no. It's it may be. I've never seen it really yet. Not at restaurants, but maybe at home, home dishes. It's definitely something that I've seen.
It's got a British colonial.
Yeah, I've seen it at some honestly, I've seen it more at some more like, you could say, upper class dinners that I've been to. Families really? Or more, yeah. So higher socioeconomic level.
Okay, אז אם אתם, מה שג'וש אומר, אז אם אתם רוצים להזמין אמריקאי הביתה, ולראות כאילו אתם מצב סוציו-אקונומי גבוה, תעשו פרייז, צ'יפס, עם טעם של salt and vinegar, שזה מלוח וחמוץ. Alright, אז יש לנו עוד כמה טעמים פה, ג'וש, מגניבים. bitter, מר.
Bitter. What is something bitter that you like?
I like cacao, dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I've actually found that I'm not that much of a fan of bitter tastes simply because I drink so much coffee. So, you know, I do like coffee, but I like it when it's sweeter, and maybe there's an aspect of bitterness in it. יש קצת מרירות. What's that? Bitterness? מרירות, תודה. But, you know, I'm not a fan of bitter things, honestly.
And I can tell you that I haven't had a good coffee in a while. I think the best coffee I've had in a long time was with a painter that me and you had a coffee with the other day. עם הבן אדם שבא לצבוע פה את הבניין, והוכין לנו הביא לי לך קפה בפינג'אן. זה היה מעולה. But besides that, the office coffee isn't that good. it's מר מדי. כמו שאתה אומר, קפה צריך להיות קצת יותר עדין. אוקיי. אז מה עם הטעמים של בשר? גבינה.
Oh, wow.
אומאמי.
That's something else entirely. I am a huge meat eater. Okay, so that's basically all the tastes right there. We have sweet, sour, salty, and bitter. However, there is another one that is not really spoken about. We usually say salty or sour instead of it, but it's actually a taste in and of itself. It's a tam miyuchad. It's called umami. And umami is a flavor that comes from things like tomatoes, cheese, meat, fish, sometimes mushrooms.
Nice.
So basically what we use is in colloquial English, what we usually say is, oh, it's very sour, it's very salty, or it has a very, you can say, meaty flavor, or gamey flavor. But what we're really referring to is this flavor, which is umami. And for whatever reason, that's not really part of
the daily lexicon.
Exactly, the daily lexicon with regards to food.
So it's pretty rarely used, even though it exists. I must admit, I've never heard of umami as a taste.
It's an umami. Well, some other countries do use the term, I think, a little bit more. So anyways, on the topic of meat and fish, Ariel, what is your favorite type of meat?
My favorite type of meat is rabbit.
Have you
I'm kidding. That's a bit extreme. No, my favorite type of rabbit's pretty good, but my favorite type of meat is beef.
Okay.
And lamb. I got two favorites.
So my favorite type of meat is not on the list. It is goat. But if I have to settle for anything, I suppose I will take lamb.
Lamb's supposed to be better than the goat because it's a young goat.
Really? I didn't know that. I thought they were two things independently.
I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure lamb is like a young goat.
I'm no zoologist, so I'm not familiar. So what types of meats do you usually eat?
I like to eat asado, which is the short rib.
Short rib. Is that the type of it's red meat, right? Basar adom, שזה בעצם של סטייקים או של פרה.
It's red meat. It's like it's on the bone.
And it's asado very skinny? Is it like sheets?
No, yeah, it's pretty
like dapim kaza?
No, it's a pretty thick cut.
It's a thick cut. Okay, I'm thinking of a different cut then. I'm not super versed in the cuts. When do you normally eat asado?
On the weekends.
On the weekends.
I normally eat asado on the weekends.
Okay.
Which is a good time to barbecue. Sun's out.
Yeah. Well, I have not seen the sun recently.
The
sun is not out today. It has not been out this week at all either.
And it's not coming out tomorrow either, apparently. So
we want the sun to come.
Sun's back, life's good.
Yeah. So you just said that you normally eat asado on the weekends. Do you eat asado every weekend?
No, I don't eat asado every weekend, but I do eat meat every weekend.
Okay, so what other types of meats do you like to eat over the weekend?
I like to eat steaks. I like to eat chicken, barbecued chicken.
Okay.
I like to eat different types of sausages. Okay, that's pretty good. And also grilled chicken.
So
grilled chicken I mentioned already, but whole grilled chicken.
So what is the difference
between these types of meats?
Chicken, grilled chicken, and
regular chicken.
Regular chicken.
Regular chicken could be roasted chicken.
Could be baked too.
Or baked chicken. Okay, mine's roasted.
I think roasted is when it's on a spit.
On
correct?
A spit, yeah, and it's going around.
So we have that, and then baked is when you put it in an oven.
Correct. That will be probably roasting that though. No, that will be baking.
So that brings me to my next question. Tonight, are you going to eat any food with meat in it?
I'm hoping.
What are you hoping to eat?
I'm hoping that my meal tonight will have meat in it.
Okay, so what do you think you will eat?
I think I will eat maybe sort of a Thai mukpats maybe. Okay. Like
what is mukpats? That's a Hebrew word.
Mukpats is like
from what I understand.
Thai food. It's like noodles and meat together, like a pad thai.
Pad thai. Okay.
Thai. The Thai pad thai would be called the mukpats.
Okay. So it's we can call that fried rice.
Yeah, it could be fried.
Different
because it could be noodles, like noodles with beef.
So fried noodles.
Fried noodles, sort of, yeah. That could be a mukbats, correct? Fried rice, fried noodles. Okay. Anything that you know why they call them mukbats? Because you actually lift it.
You have to,
you're flipping it. It's like flipped on the.
So so they call it actually what's made with a wok.
With a wok, yeah, exactly. It's made with a wok.
Pan.
But now I want to bring, since we're looking at these types of foods, which are like beef, chicken, turkey, rabbit, pork, lamb, tuna, prawns, salmon, this goes on. But כשאנחנו מדברים על, there's also כמה ניבים שאוכלים מאוד מהחיות האלו שקיימות פה. For example, eat like a pig. שזה אומר לאכול כמו חזיר, זה לאכול המון 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 עד שאתה מתפוצץ.
I just want to eat like a pig.
Or I just ate like a pig. That would be past tense, but we're doing present simple today. Good. אחרי שדיברנו על הסוגים של בשרים, salmon, וגם סוגים של seafood, prawns, salmon, בוא נעבור לנושא הבא, שזה אנחנו נשחק משחק קטן, Josh. Go ahead.
So I have some types of food in my mind. I thought it'd be cool if we tried to describe the food and see if maybe you could guess what we call it, the dish.
All right. אז אתה הולך לתאר לנו מצב, ואנחנו ננסה לגלות, אני והמאזינים, על מה אתה מדבר.
The first type of food that I'm thinking about is actually, I really, really like it. It's a Slavic type of dish. It's from the area of Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, that whole area. It's really, really delicious. It has a reddish purple inside. It has a reddish purple hue to it. It is made from beetroot, and it may include meat or fish, or even just be vegetarian. Do you know what this is called? It's like a soup.
Yeah, of course.
What is it?
It's called a borscht.
Borscht, really? Now, how do we spell this word?
B-O-R-S-C-H-T.
So we say borscht or borscht?
I would say that it's called borscht.
So that's an interesting question. Do you know how Russian speakers would say that?
Borscht.
Borscht. So is it spelled with a T in Russian?
No, I presume. I don't know.
Okay, interesting.
But that's a silent T in English. The borscht is silent.
So that's interesting. Well, colloquially, some Americans will say borscht.
No way.
Yeah, for real. I've heard some people say, have some borscht. It's good.
Borscht?
Borscht.
So maybe I'm mistaken, because maybe the Russians call it borscht as well. We need to check that out.
Well, I think Americans...
Or a very silent T. Must be like a borscht.
No, it's borscht. Have some borscht. I've heard some people in the Midwest absolutely say that, but that's also because our accents we're so strong in our phonemes that we pronounce everything.
All right, so my turn. I'm gonna ask you a quick question. What is a thick, smooth, soft paste that usually contains liver?
Ooh, liver, kaved.
Yeah, kaved. And it can be made from ground meat. Can be made from fish or vegetables, and it's usually served with a fresh baguette or bread. אנחנו מדברים פה על סוג של משחה כזאת, או משהו חלק, spread שזה מכבד. מה זה יכול להיות? או שנקרא לזה.
Well, you know, we have something...
אני אתן לך רמז.
אוקיי.
אוקיי? כי המאזינים רוצים רמז.
אוקיי.
למרות שזה קל ולא צריך פה רמז.
אוקיי.
אבל המילה הזאת זה כמו מילה צרפתית.
Oh, I was going to say chopped liver. In America, we say chopped liver. For if it's kaved and it's like a
spread.
If it's in a spread, we say chopped liver.
All right. So,
but
what happens if it's goose liver? Do you also call it
chopped goose liver?
Chopped goose liver.
Yeah,
you wouldn't just call it what we are intending? A pate.
A pate.
A pate.
I'm not international enough to know that, I suppose.
A pate. Now, how do we spell that, Josh? Pate.
It's P-A with a weird symbol at the top, a T and then another E with another strange nikud.
Now, I want you to explain to our listeners why the A has a yarmulke on top.
Because the A is Jewish.
That was pretty good. Okay, so why does the A have the little hat on top, little triangle? It's like זה כמו משולש הפוך כזה. יש כמו משולש על ה-A, פאטי, זה עם סימן כזה על ה-A, ויש גם עוד סימן כזה צ'ופשיק על ה-E.
So אני לא כל כך דובר עברית וגם ספרדית.
צרפתית.
אבל...
צרפתית.
וצרפתית אפילו גם. אבל ממה שאני מבין, הצליל הזו זה לא A רגיל, זה סוג של אחד מה-A'ים המיוחדים.
שצריך להשתמש בליפס, בשפתיים, פאטי.
שזה בעצם ממה שאני מבין שזה חלש. והאי בסוף גם הניקוד מעליו זה יותר כמו צ'ופצ'יק, אפילו אני לא יודע איך קוראים את זה, אבל זה מוכר לי, ואני יודע כדובר אנגלית שהאי הזו לא משפיע ב-A, ואנחנו לא קוראים את זה פייט, נכון?
נכון.
למרות שאני לא יודע מה זה, פאטה, אומרים chopped liver in Midwest, אבל אני יכול להבין שזו מילה לא אנגלית.
All right, let's have one more and we done. תורי, תוכל לשאול. בוא, תן לי את השאלה. finish off, אני רוצה לסיים את המשחק on a high. Get it right.
Well, this is not so much of a high, but I think I would like to ask you because we spoke on a previous lesson that I have a bit of a shellfish allergy. I can't eat shellfish.
Okay.
And I have been thinking a lot about soup. I love borscht. Thank God there's no shellfish in it, or from what I've had, there hasn't been any. However, I would like to know, what do we call the type of food? It's very thick. It's a thick soup. And it's made with cream, milk or cream, and it usually has some sort of shellfish in it, crab or other delicious looking food that I can't consume. And it's eaten with crackers that are in the shape of oysters.
So that is, I'm actually extremely hungry now, but we're going to call that a chowder.
A chowder.
Which makes me want to chow. It comes from the word chow.
To chow down. What does it mean to chow down?
To chow down זה פשוט לאכול, לדחוס, הייתי אומר אפילו, לא לאכול כמו...
To eat like a pig.
To eat like a pig. To chow.
Well, pig chow.
ג'וש, יש מאכל בדרום אפריקה שאוכלים שקוראים לו בני צ'או, שזה גם במילה צ'או, צ'אודר, אבל זה משהו שונה לגמרי. זה אוכל בדרך כלל שאוכלוסייה מאוד ענייה, פור, בגלל שאין להם כסף לאוכל. אוקיי, אז הם צריכים לאכול מנה אחת, בוא נגיד מאוד מאוד מזינה, ושתחזיק לכמה שיותר שעות בבטן, זמן. אוקיי, that's the calculation when it comes to food. אני יודע שזה נשמע בלתי נתפס למישהו בעולם המערבי כמו ישראל או מקומות כאלה, אבל באפריקה יש הרבה עוני שאנשים לא רואים, אז אנשים חייבים לחשב, they need to calculate the food that they consume to make it go as long as possible without being hungry again. אז מה הם עושים? הם לוקחים לחם, הם קונים לחם שלם, roll of bread, and they cut that in half, חותכים, a loaf, actually full loaf of bread, וחותכים את הלחם לחצי, לא פרוסה הלחם שלם, מוצאים את האמצע, they take out the insides of the bread, the middle, and they fill it up with potatoes. Could be fries will go down really well, when they fill it up with fries, and they load it up with salt, and they eat that. Now, I happen to be a young guy in South Africa, and maybe I was like 16 years old, and we were young and stupid, I like to call it. And we wanted to spend our money on fun and make it mostly spend our money on fun things, which did not include eating. Eating was on the least priority. Okay, so we decided once we're going to save up and hit a bunny chow. Like instead of eating out every day, let's do one bunny chow, see how it goes. And I can tell you that honestly, you eat half a loaf of bread with fries, filled with fries, you ain't going to want to eat for at least 8 to 9 hours, at least. You're good for the day, you're like pumped. And so it's a lot of calories. סתם סיפור מעניין שתדעו, אבל I got this game right. Chowder. You were talking about chowder before? המרק כזה עם seafood.
Yeah, chowder. Clam chowder.
Delicious. So let's go home. I'm going to go chow.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go chow. שיהיה לכם chow נעים.
chow נעים לכם.
chow נעים לכולם. And אנחנו נתראה שוב שבוע הבא. So have a good weekend, Josh. I will see you on Sunday.
I will see you next week.
Next week. And להתראות לכולם.
Bye bye.